Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Ask YP Life Now show. So, this is a show focused on positive living, living with passion, having your work life balance. And one very important part is you always look for ways to make the world a better place. And we have with us this evening a very special guest all the way from US. We've got with us Ilona. Hi, Ilona. Say hi to all our audiences here.
Hi, everybody. So good to be here with you.
And Ilona, would you like to share a bit about yourself? Yeah.
Well, I'm originally from country of Georgia, which is former USSR. I was born with mom who's Ukrainian and dad who's Armenian in a land that is completely different from their cultures in the Republic of Georgia, with the food, hospitality, with lots of passionate life, the beautiful weather, amazing history, and now where the legends are born, and we are striving to do the best and be the best. And the best thing that I have learned from my country is the gift of hospitality, because
Okay.
food is how we treat others.
So you say that you've got different. Your parents is from your father is from one country, your mother is one country. So I'm gonna ask you. When you were at home when you're younger, what sort of food were you eating? You said the hospitality food. What's your favorite dishes?
The biggest thing in my country is the bread. Bread
Okay.
is something that must be on a table. Bread and a salt. So that's the two things that is a must. However, we have the cheese bread that is most amazing traditional. We have the dumplings,
Ooh.
Georgian dumplings that is similar, looks like maybe Japanese dumplings. However, the taste inside is completely different. So when you bite in them, it becomes the soup. You have to drink soup that is inside
Ooh.
of it. It's absolutely delicious, so amazing, refreshing, and it's just aromatic. Everything is so fresh, and we eat lots of salads with lots of herbs. Our favorite.
Oh wow! So one of these days I must go and travel over to with you
You
over
would
to you.
love that. You would
Yeah.
love it. One of the best countries to visit.
Mm. Because I really love my food. Yeah, but so I'm a foodie. Okay, and I do travel. Long places to have food. Now today's topic is talking about legacy. Okay, and why do you think it's important for people to be able to leave a legacy?
I think sometimes people really misunderstand the word legacy. I think the legacy, most people think it's some inheritance, some kind of tangible things that people they can enjoy, they can use. They want to leave to their kids and their grandkids something. Let's say a house, maybe bank account, and some funds in
Oh.
there as well too. And but what I'm speaking about is the living legacy, that money cannot buy, something not tangible, but something very instrumental. Because what I want is, people usually have a misconception that they want to leave legacy for the people, but I want to leave a legacy in the people.
Wow. Can you say that slowly again? People want to leave a legacy for other
People
people.
want to leave the legacy for people, but I want to leave legacy in people, because for people is tangible. Inside, if I leave something inside of people, it will last forever, and nothing that is going to happen around them is going to take away from them.
You got me really curious. What do you mean by leaving a legacy in people? That's something. That's a new concept to me.
It's what is most important, right? The things that we touch is a tangible thing that will live for people,
Mhm.
right? They can see it, they can touch it, they can use it. But what I've discovered, that all of these things are perishable, right? One way or
True, true.
another, they will not be sustained to go to the older generation. But when I
Mhm.
leave something like how to dream again, how to strive again, how to take every single no and turn it into the next. That is the key to the true success. When I leave something inside of my kids, inside of them, they will remember what mama said. Other people will remember what I said that left the spark and the mark inside of them. And that's what's important for me.
Can you give a bit more example, like a case study or incident how you leave a legacy in someone?
Leaving the legacy in someone is not usually we wake up with the concept. We don't wake up and say, oh, I'm going to leave a legacy. Legacy is something that has to flow naturally from the people. Legacy is
True.
something that it's your character, it's your ethics, right? It's your standards, it's what you are standing for, what you are striving for. And that passion, that spark that is inside of you, people
Mm,
want to have it. People are curious why you are so cheerful despite of circumstances. They want
mhm.
to know what I have inside of me versus
Okay.
what's outside of me. And that's the secret that I usually share. What is something that is so intangible but is so instrumental, so vital, so valuable, and absolutely amazing that I can share with others. It's divine. It sustains you more than, let's say, the legacy we leave for people, car, money, some other resources. It's
Mm.
something that I can pass along, something that I don't have to trade, something that I don't have to wait till I pass away for people that I love to use it.
So it's something to do with a lot with the way you think. Am I right? Yeah, the mindset, your beliefs, your value system. Is that what passing, the legacy in a person reflects or evolves around? Or I got a feeling it's much more deeper than that.
It's anything valuable that money cannot buy. Whatever money cannot buy, that's the legacy that I want to pass, that will sustain inside of people. It's a
Mhm.
values, it's a mindset, it's your belief system as well, how you keep going, what makes you so happy, all the secrets, all of the tools, all of the experiences, your wisdom. And that is something that people will help people to live life in a better circumstances.
Mm.
No matter what's outside or what's going on, they will know that inside of them is that legacy that they have cherished for so long.
Which reminds me how important it is because one of my guiding principles in my life, okay, the way I do things and grow up, is actually my parents, or especially my father, who from a very young age tell me, YP, there are three things that you can always be mindful of: do good, avoid evil, purify the mind. And this is something that has been encouraged in me all these years, and it's been like a guiding principle for me, the way I do things and how I approach. So would this be an example of something that my dad, uh, a legacy that he passed in me?
With my generation, I am a direct descendant of Armenian genocide survivors. My great grandfather, when he was running away from the Ottoman Empire, he lost his 5-year-old brother to death. He couldn't
Mm,
save him. He didn't have a time. He was 9 years old when he was running from death. He saw how his parents have been beheaded in front of his eyes. He was
ouch.
only 9. As he was running and he crossed the border where he felt safe in the country of Georgia, he built his family from that place, from the foreign place, didn't know the language, didn't know the culture, but he knew that this country was based on Christian values. What he passed to all of us is how to believe, how to keep up with your dreams, how not
Mm,
to lose the
mm,
hope, how not to lose the faith, how keep going no matter what in your life. And he also taught us not to ever repay evil with evil. Life doesn't work this way because we are
mm,
not responsible for what other people do, say, or think, because we are our own people. And also, there is a big thing in a power in forgiveness. If we don't forgive, we're not going to live. We're going to let that
mm.
bother us for the rest of the life. I always say that unforgiveness is just like poison. When you drink in hopes that somebody else dies, it's going to destroy you.
Ooh.
And that's what my parents, my family have shared with me. Those are the values, those are the legacies that I remember. Yes, my great grandfather is not alive, my grandparents are not alive either, but what I remember is what they passed to me. And that's something that I'm going to pass to my children through my stories, through my experiences, so they will also know not to ever repay evil with evil. Always keep up their heads up. There's always hope. There's always sun after the night, and there's always rainbow after the rain.
So, Ilona, you're saying that some of these things that your parents and grandparents pass on to you. Um, in what form are you going to pass it on to your children or to future generations? How do you pass on this um, these beliefs in them?
My biggest thing is their eyes. They see more than words can say. When they see how I live my life, when they see that I have values, when they see that I'm always smiling no matter what, it's not always easy. When they see that I always say things that you always have to thank God for everything that you guys have. You guys always have to acknowledge his higher power, that who he is in our lives. He's the only one who will never betray you. You have to be very, very careful in life. And those are the things. When I say things, when I live my life according to what I say, those are
Mm.
things that they will remember. Those are the values that they're going to always remember, because the repetitions of my words and the way that they reciprocate and receive the messages, how I live my life according to what I say, I think that's going to be a powerful statement in their lives.
And what you say is so true, isn't it? They say that sometimes we think that the children aren't observing, but children are actually very much more observant than we
We think.
adults sometimes. Yeah, correct.
Yes,
Yeah. And as the saying go, I can't hear what you speak because what you do thunders above your head, meaning that people see what we do rather than what we say, isn't it?
always, always, yeah. And that's why I would rather them to see it and to remember it, because I want them
Mhm.
to remember it. They often quote my stories when I share with them. They always quote some of the statements that I say. So I like that. I like it. That's the impact. That's the influence. Because most people, they're so eager to go and conquer and save the world, when the world that we need to save and conquer is our home. It starts with a home.
True.
And if we do not help our loved ones, if we do not teach and encourage our children, what's the point in going out there and help others, right? You're
True.
not going to be happy. So, and that's
True.
what I want to like build and start with the family.
Tidy your own house before you go and try to tidy the world, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Ilona, when I introduced you earlier on, especially when I posted on Facebook, apparently you've written quite a few books. Could you like to share with us some of the books that you've written and why were you writing those books? Yeah.
I have few right here because this is my desk. This is the book that I have wrote the first. It's Opium of the Almond Tree. That's my first book. When I say the
Mhm.
first book, because that became a foundation for me to write the rest of the book. And usually, the best songs are written when you have some events in your life. The best,
Mhm.
like experiences that is happening, the poems, it's when something is happening in your life. And I went through this different events in my life that I wanted to use this energy to do something different. I took a class, I went to the school, and one of the elective they wanted me to choose is either learning about God, learning about hormones, and the third one was learning how to write the book. I said,
Okay.
I know enough about God, gods. I know enough about hormones. And let me do something I've never tried. So, and they encouraged me to do it. And that energy that I had during this time of my event and negative, I turned into the positive. And after
Okay.
that, I wrote several books as well.
So how many books in total have you written? Because people always like to count.
I know I have 10. One of them is a
Wow.
recipe book, and another one is a children's book that I wrote for the girls, little princesses, ages 5 to 9.
Okay. And what would your latest book be? I
My
saw it.
latest book,
Yeah.
my latest book that I have finished my year in the way that I wanted to finish, and I co-authored the book with His Royal Highness Prince Stefan, Prince of Montenegro and Serbia, and we
Mhm.
call it Legacy Legends. So, because sometimes it's very interesting, right? To know when you have royalty, when you have possessions or and position, right? You always leave something tangible, with it for the generation. But this is beyond the tangible things. That's the legacy we want to leave to the world and for the world and in the world. That they will always like live their lives to make this day a better place to live.
So, Ilona, just give me a second to welcome those people who just joined us. Okay, welcome to the RSYP Live um, Now show. So, this is a show based focusing on positive living, living with passion, work-life balance, and making the world a better place. So, we have with us, Ilona, who is, she is multi-talented. She has written books. She is a TEDx speaker, a keynote speaker, and a much sought after a person, on resilience. You're into digital media too, aren't you, Ilona? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, YouTube, and tell us a bit more about your YouTube in a minute, okay? So we've got Ilona here, which is multi-talented, and today's topic is about how to leave a legacy to the future generations. And Ilona's definition of legacy is very different from our standard thinking of what legacy is. So, Ilona, just before you talk about your YouTube, can you tell us what is your definition of legacy?
Our definition of legacy, I know it could be different, but legacy is something that wants you to jump out of the bed to start the day. Legacy is something that you want to, it's divine, and it's gonna last forever. Legacy, it's a happiness, dreams, rekindling your life, and passing to your loved ones. That's it. Passing to your loved ones.
Okay. So the book you just shared, okay, the Legacy Legends, could you give a quick synopsis of what the book is about so that, if our listeners are interested, they can go get a copy from the. Can they get a copy from Amazon?
Yes, it's available. It's a black cover, and we have also with the white cover. White cover comes. We have a pictures of His Royal Highness family and my pictures as well. So that's why it's a VIP version with the white cover, and the black cover is a regular version, black and white, and it touches about how to build your unshakable legacy to create a strong, like I said, strong heritage. So how do you create a strong heritage? Right? How do you create this unshakable legacy? What is it about it? What is the strength? How can you bring strength that nothing or no one can steal from you, no one can rob it from you, but it's right there. It's with you. Right?
Mhm.
Legacy is not something that is selfish. Legacy is something that you share with a grateful heart and share with the passion to somebody that you love. Start with someone that you love, that you care about.
That's very, very good advice. So, do you use your YouTube channel at all? I know you've got a YouTube channel. Do you use the YouTube channel as another, I would say, platform or vehicle to pass on legacy?
Absolutely. I wanted to create something and share my messages to the world, especially during pandemic. That's when my YouTube channel was born, especially right in the pandemic, the week after the lockdown happened. I wanted to share the good messages with the lonely people who were locked down in their homes, especially with the senior people. So, and the
Mhm.
best way to pass the messages was to create the YouTube channel. And it's easy to share the link with just 2 3 minutes, and then it expanded Then I was, inviting the friends, inviting the guests to my show to share their stories, how they can encourage the world, how can they take every no into next, how they can rekindle their dreams, how they can provide the hopes for those who needed the hope.
Okay. So for somebody that's relatively new to the concept of wanting to pass a legacy on, to the future, what would be the tips? How do I get started?
First of all, start with yourself. You need to create the values. You know what the character is. Character is the one. So, when people are not watching you, that's when the true character begins, right? What
Mm-hmm.
do you do in your spare time when nobody's watching you? What are your values? What are your standards? And that's all of this becomes like a package deal when it comes to the legacy. It's like the intangible things that you want to pass. And legacy is not selfish thing. You cannot keep it to yourself. This is not for you to keep. This is for you to pass. And it starts with the loved ones who you love the most. What do you want them to remember about you?
Mm-hmm.
That standard, that message is going to sustain them when they don't have money in the banks, when they don't have a vehicle, for example, when their boss just fired them from the job, when something is going wrong. What is this message that is going to sustain them when everything else around them is going to crash? And that's
Mm-hmm.
what I want to pass to my loved ones, to hope, to the hope, and remember that there's always a brighter day tomorrow.
Mm. And that's so important now because as times get difficult, a lot of people are turning to, I would say, despair. And I mean, it sounds a bit corny, but there's lots more lost souls nowadays. It seems that way. Yeah, I keep on hearing from friends, from business owners, of people who are struggling just to make sense of things and to make a living, right?
Yes.
So yeah, and what you're sharing with me, what gets me, because this is a new area to me, is in a way like a inner balance or inner anchor. So when you leave a legacy like what you just shared, to another person, to your loved ones, you're actually giving them a anchor within, so that they know how to survive. They know how to correctly react when times get tough. Am I
Yes.
am I on the right track?
Yes, this is absolutely right. This is something that is very important because lots of people are focusing on something tangible. It's all about making money, making money. Making money is good, but money is going to run out. Your energy is
Mhm.
eventually is going to run out. But what keeps you awake? Right? What makes you jump out of the bed to start the day? What is something? Are you passionate for life? Do you love your life? Sometimes you know that we all are mixing up with the philosophers because philosophers were always asking the question, what is the meaning of life? But what I'm asking everybody is that how can I bring meaning to a life? We're
Okay.
always answering the wrong question. If we learn to ask the right question, it will be easier for us to focus and answer that. So if
Mm.
we always ask ourselves, do we make money? We will focus our energy how to answer this question instead of asking, what will make me happy?
That's a very interesting concept. There's a saying, because I come from the business corporate world, they say that many people like to climb the corporate ladder. And when they get to the top, they realize that the ladder is leaning against the wrong wall.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And
Yeah.
that's what we wanted to kind of teach people that, if they have something valuable, this internal happiness, internal joy, right? That will overflow their lives one way or another. And they will realize that as much as money they have, but money will not make them happy. Money is important factor in your life. It's a decision making. There's a lot of things are happening because of money, fame, and authority and reputation out
Mhm.
there and position, right? But government cannot take it away from it, of what we have inside of us, right? The joy, the happiness. They may not like us to be happy, right? But
Mm.
they cannot control that part that we are,
Yeah.
despite of
Yep.
something that we don't have.
Yeah, they cannot control the way we think, isn't it? There's no way any authority can control our mindset, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yes,
And
that's a
how? Yeah.
powerful machine.
Yeah. And Ilona, you've got, you've achieved many things, You even did a triathlon, am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So from the sports arena, from the speaking arena, from the influencing arena, you've got many things going for you, okay? So my question is this, what drives you? What makes you think? What inspires and motivates you?
I just love life. I think life is a gift that we were gifted. We're not just privileged, we're so blessed to have it. And I want to get everything that this life has for me. Everything that the life has, every single second, every single minute that life has for me, that makes me live, that makes me to get up every day to see what's today. I don't want to miss nothing from the day. I want to use every single talent that I have to create something positive and valuable for the world.
So there's no what do you call it? No limiting beliefs, limiting obstacles, limiting
Nope, not
yeah, anything
anymore. I
limits.
used
There are
to
no
think
limits.
anymore. No, not no way. So I'm my own person. I want to love life. I want to live life. I want to enjoy it, with the essence, with through my standards, expectations. I expect a lot from life. I want it. I love it. That drives me because life is so interesting. This is just, we live, we breathe, we wake up, we see, we observe. We strive for something, we fail, we get up again, we're learning, and it's just such a beautiful thing, such a beautiful thing.
So you got me all inspired, Ilona. So can you just share with us, one tip or one story that how you've actually, reframed the way you think, and just overcome whatever challenges there are, and then you just move on, and then you achieve something that you're so proud of.
I was born, and actually I grew up in a very rich family. My dad had a very good position, and he spoiled us with everything. We ate caviar with a spoon. We threw away the food. We were so spoiled because there was so much food. I remember my mom always said that. I wish the time will come where you will appreciate the bread that you had just throw away. And yet we didn't even realize that her words came true. We had the war of the collapse of the Soviet Union. During this war, we lost absolutely everything: fame, authority, money, position, food, everything from one
Mm,
day to another. But what my mom had given to me is this ability to believe. She always said to us that no matter what you have or don't have, you always have to thank God for it. I remember I
mm,
was crying at night. I was so upset, so angry at God. I was asking Him, why in the world did He allow me to go through such a hurdles, to go through such pain,
mm,
adversities in life? What did I do? And he said, don't you think that I am as much as with rich people and as much as with the poor people too? Do you know that in my sight you're my kids, regardless what you have or what you don't have? I love you the same, and I care about you the same. I'm like, why do you allow that to happen to me? He came one day and he kissed on the forehead and he said, I love you so much. Everything will be okay. And he gave me
mm,
strength to live my life, whether
mm.
I have food or whether I don't have food. That hope is going to sustain me. And that's what keeps me going. That hope for tomorrow.
And what do you see the future holds for you?
Oh, I have a great expectations from life. I have so many things that I want to conquer. I'm ambitious. I always have so many ideas that I want to achieve, and I have a little secret I cannot share right now. YP is it's beyond of what I have expected. But little hint, I wanted to let you know, guys, this is going to come alive very, very, very soon. So you
Okay.
guys better take this book, read this, and I hope I gave you enough, but not too much with that. But
Okay,
it's a
okay.
huge, huge, huge surprise, huge vision is going to come very soon. So I'm excited beyond that. God always brings the right people to the right path and always removes people who are toxic for your life, in your life. Those For those people who are keeping you down, who are weighing you down. So God kind of cuts them off, and I'm okay with that. I mean, I don't want them in my life. I can be there to help, but no, not for them to keep me down. Not
Okay.
gonna happen, not gonna happen.
So we got Candice, in a group, our good friend Candice here, and she says
Ah,
that, Ilona, you're keeping us in suspense. Okay, so she said that she's gonna get your book. Okay, so yeah, so I'm gonna depend on Candice to give me the tips. Like we play Cluedo, give me the clues towards
I
solving the
know
mystery.
it.
And I got a friend of mine from Perth, Shibani. Shibani says so true, and said with true passion. Yep, the only true treasures in life. Okay. Right. So thanks, Shibani. Thanks, Candice, for sharing. I met Ilona maybe almost about 6 months ago, or is it maybe a bit longer? Maybe 6 or 9 months ago. And that time we were both involved in a particular speaker's event, and she was the keynote speaker. And what she shared with us was so inspiring. She was talking a lot more at that time about resilience, about how to overcome adversity. And like what she shared with us today, no matter what lemons the life throws at you, you just squeeze them and you make lemonade out of it. Right. Thanks. Okay. Right. And so, along with what Ilona has been sharing, if you're listening in here and you're somebody who, like Ilona, wants to live life with passion, and you're tired of having to work for a living, I'm going to encourage you. I'm just going to put this little banner um, into the okay. So I'm actually running a little boot camp on 4th and 5th of March. Ilona will be joining me, on this boot camp. And this is basically a boot camp, okay? This is actually a boot camp where you learn to get your life in balance, and you're gonna learn the secrets of being able to work 20 hours less and in 5 years or less, to be able to 10 times your wealth. And just today I was listening to somebody who was mentioning, if you think you got enough wealth to live by, that's good. And the reason why you should become a bit wealthier, not striving just to be wealthy, but be wealthier so that you can serve more people. And that's a very brilliant concept, right? So, take note of the boot camp, come and explore a little bit more and register. And if you want a free ticket, because I know some of you listening here, you want a free ticket, what you should do is take a snapshot of this, because this is a chance for you to get a free ticket for the boot camp too. So you could either purchase or take part in this competition and get a free ticket for the boot camp. So Ilona, as we round up the show, what are your final tips? Okay, your final tips for our listeners.
My final tips will be like something that I live my life and I learn my life. When life throws at you so many no's, closed doors, disappointments, don't get discouraged by that, because what I've realized that the person who has resilience, who built up this resiliency, he has the ability to take every no and take it and turn it into next. Just because somebody said no to you, you have to say thank you, because there's a better one. The better opportunity for you is going to come along. So do not get ever discouraged when people say no to you, when circumstances do not come your way in the right way, because you need to believe that everything is for the reason, because there will be better opportunities come your way. Do not exhaust all of your energy in something that you lost. Look forward to something that grandiose is going to open in front of you.
Woo!
Do not be afraid to say no to people, places, and things who are weighing you down. Do not regret that. Keep them aside, but do not keep them as a circle of your life. They're weighing you down. If they weigh you down, you cannot make this place a better place to live. Do that, guys. Do that. I'm so like excited to see what this world has to do with you guys, and just go after your dreams, because nobody is going to be there for you but you.
Ooh, that's a very, very encouraging tip. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen who are here with us, either in the live show or you're listening to this recording, thank you so much for being here. And you know what? I'm going to give you a sneak preview. I'm going to give you a sneak preview for next week's presenter. Okay. So, the next week's presenter is somebody that comes from Lagos, Nigeria. Can you imagine? You are in a situation where there are 15 unknown gunmen surrounding you and they are hitting you, bashing you. So, how do you keep your nerves? How do you keep your mind sharp? How do you know how to be the leader of your emotions? Okay. And able to escape that particular crisis. So, our next presenter for next week is somebody who is a leadership coach. He's a very experienced leadership coach, and he'll share with you how he used the skills that he has taught hundreds and thousands of people inside to survive a situation where he's been surrounded by 15 gunmen. And that just happened a few months ago. So this is a very, very interesting presenter. So I'm going to see you next week. And for staying with us, I'm going to say thank you so much. Here's a copy of a book, to say thank you. This is my 10 proven strategies to work less, earn more book. Just take a picture of the, in fact, when you look at the recording of it, you will be able to get this link, and so help yourself to copy of this free book. Okay, so with this, I say bye bye to you, and thank you so much, Ilona, for joining us this evening, and for all the listeners, thank you so much for being with us, and we hope that you continue to be with every episode of the show, and every week, pick something that will inspire you to make yourself a better person, a bigger version of yourself, to live with more passion, and also make the world a better place. So thank you, and see you. Okay, and Ilona, you don't have to quit now. I'm just gonna play a little outro, and then we can have a little chat again. Yeah? Okay.